Can we talk about how Canada's job market is absolutely cooked?
It's becoming really difficult for young Canadians to get their first job in Canada.
As a Canadian, I just want to know why it is so hard to find a freaking job.
Can someone explain to me how do we live in one of the best countries in the world, yet young, educated Canadians cannot even find jobs?
If you're a young Canadian and you're wondering why you can't find a job after applying to hundreds of places, let me tell you why.
The jobs market in Canada is getting worse.
Youth unemployment rate reached its highest level since 2010.
It's actually insane how difficult it's becoming right now to get a job in Vancouver.
Over 1 in 5 students looking for a summer job in Canada currently cannot find one.
I have been applying for a minimum of 10 to 25 jobs every single day for the last 3 months. I haven't even received a rejection letter.
Canada is facing a quiet crisis, not in the grocery aisle, not at the gas pump, but in the job market. For thousands of Canadians, finding work has become a full-time job in itself, applications sent, interviews attended, rejections piling up, and still no stability, no security, no paycheck. The numbers tell the story. In mid-2025, Canada's unemployment rate hovered around 6.9%, one of the highest in recent years. And while headlines celebrate job gains, most of those are part-time positions. Low pay, no benefits, no future full-time opportunities, scarce. Wage growth, slowing. And adjusted for inflation, real wages are barely moving unifornational. Behind those numbers are real people, skilled workers forced into gig jobs, graduates stuck in endless cycles of unpaid internships, parents juggling multiple part-time shifts just to keep the lights on, immigrants with degrees and experience, told they're overqualified or lack Canadian experience. This isn't just an economic issue, it's a human one. It's the erosion of dignity, the loss of opportunity, the frustration of doing everything right and still falling behind. So in this video, we're not just talking about unemployment, we're talking about the reality of Canadians who can't find stable work and what that means for the future of the country. Because when jobs disappear, hope disappears too.
Can someone explain to me how do we live in one of the best countries in the world, yet young, educated Canadians cannot even find jobs? Stat just came out and unemployment in young Canadians is at 13.5%. You've got the degrees, you've got the experience, you did everything the system told you to do, but you're back living at home, applying for jobs that pay less than your student loan payments. Inflation's at a record high, housing's unaffordable, and groceries are a joke. The craziest part is nobody's talking about it like it's a problem. So how is it in a country this wealthy, generation that's the most educated in history, cannot afford basic life? And this is not fear. This is a fact. This is Canada right now. And no one's coming to fix it. There is no rescue plan. You either adapt or you get left behind. If you're a young Canadian, tired of waiting for opportunity, create one. If you're open to something different, DM me reality and I'll show you what I'm doing.
I hate that I'm using TikTok to rant, but I just have to do it. As a Canadian, I just want to know why it is so hard to find a freaking job. Even when it comes to applying for jobs, I've applied to maybe 20, 25, 30 jobs, and I haven't even gotten a reply back. People have been telling me that it's literally just a Canadian thing, that they just don't reply or whatever. I would really rather just get rejected than not hear from a company at all. And it's to the extent where I'm literally emailing companies to see if they're hiring or if they have any job opportunities. I need a summer job in an aviation industry kind of position, and it is impossible to find. I'm not even looking for something specific. I will literally do an entry-level position, and it's just so annoying.
Can we talk about how Canada's job market is absolutely cooked? I swear every week I see more mass layoffs. I'm sure you've seen it. Scotiabank just dropped another round of mass layoffs. People in Toronto, tech, even middle management. And Scotiabank isn't only the big 5 bank doing this. It was just months ago where we saw TD drop 2% of their workforce. And I'm sure you've seen Stellantis as well. They moved Jeep Compass production from Brampton all the way to Illinois. That's approximately 3,000 Canadian jobs gone in an instance. I mean, need I say more? Hudson's Bay, sure you heard it. Bankrupt, 8,000 Canadian jobs gone. Well, how about tech? Well, Ericsson just laid off over 100 jobs in Canada. Banking's cutting, manufacturing's cutting, retail's cutting, and even tech's cutting. This is exactly why I preach saving and investing so much, because our economy in the Greater Toronto area is just not stable. It is simply up to you to take matters in your own hand to survive this economic turbulence. So if you're new here, drop a follow and get educated on financial literacy. It's very important.
Okay guys, I just want to come on here and rant quickly. I live in Canada and I recently lost my job like a few months ago now. And I've been, it was unprovoked. Like I just was laid off basically without notice. But I've been looking for another job. It's been months and I cannot find a job. I have decent work experience, references, like I have applied literally anywhere and everywhere. I have applied from like cleaners to restaurants to office administration, which is what I was doing before. And I can't get a job. And on Indeed, like every single job I apply for, it tells you how many people applied for said job. Some of them it's thousands, like thousands of people are applying for this one job. Like it is absolutely ridiculous.
It's actually insane how difficult it's becoming right now to get a job in Vancouver. Like I've been looking for a job for 2 months. Yes, maybe it doesn't sound like too long, but I've worked in the city before and it has never been this difficult, especially with the amount of applications that I have submitted. I barely heard from anyone, and that's kind of concerning. I mean, yes, maybe I don't have much qualification and I'm literally at this point just looking for an entry-level position, even at minimum wage, because I'm desperate. Because I mean, if I don't get a job within the next month, then I guess I would have to start an OnlyFans, because I don't see any other way of making money, honestly.
Canada is in a recession. Canada lost over 40,000 jobs in July, below all estimates. Youth unemployment rate reached its highest level since 2010 per StatsCan. Between this and a 90% chance of a Fed cut in September, I'd say there's a clear runway for more cuts in Canada now.
Toronto's job market is officially dead. Watch this. Unemployment in Toronto has just hit 9.1%, with over 370,000 people officially out of work. And if we look at the summer job market, things look even worse, with students facing the highest unemployment rates in decades, and job postings for almost every single type of summer job continuing to fall. One of the interesting things I noticed when looking at Toronto's employment data is that even though population has been steadily increasing, Toronto's labor force is actually smaller than it was at the beginning of the year. So where should you go if you're looking for a job in Canada? Saskatoon, Regina, and Victoria are probably your most solid bets, with low unemployment rates that have actually declined compared to the same time last year. So what do you guys think? Is it time to leave Toronto for better opportunities? Let me know in the comments down below.
According to Stats Canada, over 1 in 5 students looking for a summer job in Canada currently cannot find one. The unemployment rate for full-time students now returning to work in fall is now 20%. This is a massive jump from just 2 years ago when it was only 11%. And just for the record, those were bad numbers as well. And to put this in perspective, the national average for unemployment in Canada is 7%. A young person in Canada is getting hit 3 times harder than the general population. This means fewer chances to save, build experience, or even just afford basic stuff this summer. So if you're a student in Canada and you can't find a job or an internship this summer despite sending countless applications, those feelings are justified. The numbers speak for themselves, but you just have to dig deeper. There will hopefully be better days to come.
Canada loves to celebrate job numbers. Headlines say 40,000 jobs added this month, but what they don't tell you is the truth behind those numbers. Most of those jobs, part-time, temporary, contract work, the kind of jobs that don't come with benefits, don't come with security, and don't come with a future. So what happens? People work harder than ever, 2 jobs, sometimes 3, just to stay afloat, and even then, they're falling behind. Wages haven't kept up with inflation. Minimum wage might sound decent on paper, but when rent is $2,000 and groceries are $500, what does $16 an hour really mean? It means exhaustion. It means burnout. It means working endlessly and still feeling like you're losing. And the worst part? The narrative doesn't change. Politicians say the economy is strong. Corporations say we're hiring. But for the average Canadian, the reality is simple. The harder you work, the less you get. This isn't laziness. This isn't lack of effort. This is a system that rewards exploitation and punishes survival.
It's becoming really, really difficult for young Canadians to get their first job in Canada. So there's lots of reports coming out, lots of economic data that shows that young Canadians are having a really, really tough time finding their first job. And I'm talking about teens, I'm talking about early 20s, kids in their early 20s, teenagers, even mid-20s. It's not just for the adults that are looking for jobs that are having their challenges. It's also the youngsters. It's all the young people. They're also having lots of challenges finding the first job. And if they can't find their first job, what hope does anybody else have? I keep saying on this channel, I'm worried about Canada's future. And I know I'm getting a lot of comments from people that are saying that I'm a conservative person, or I'm Trump speak, whatever that means. Just because I'm saying things about young Canadians and their future, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
I know a lot of people have been struggling trying to find work. I know for me, it took me 9 months to find this job after I lost my last job December last year. But don't give up. The minute that you give up, you won't find anything, right? Keep sending those applications. Send out hundreds if you have to. It took me over 300 applications. I got 2 interviews finally after 9 months, and I got the 1 job from the 2 interviews. So don't give up. You are more than doing okay when it comes to your effort. It's not you, it's the market right now. The unemployment rate in Canada right now is 7.1%, the highest it's been in over 30 years. I'm not too sure how it's going in the US. I think it's going similar, but don't give up. It's not you that's the problem. It's not your resume. It's just there's a lack of opportunities out there. May Allah get you the job that you deserve, and may He bring more blessings and opportunities into your life. Amen.
The jobs market in Canada is getting worse. This is EI claims. Since May, parabolic. And this is the active EI recipients, and as you can see, strong uptrend. I talk to a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, realtors, and the bulk of the conversations that I have with people are trimming fat in their business. They're cutting back. They are getting rid of employees they don't really need. They're getting rid of office space. They're shutting down ads. It's very rare I talk to somebody and they tell me that they are increasing their business expenses. And the construction industry is just getting started. There's a couple-year lag on that because when real estate gets really hot, we end up building a whole bunch of things. Those things take 2, 3, 4 years to complete. Now all of those buildings are starting to complete, so you're starting to see the construction industry start to feel this. Talked to a buddy today who's in that space. He's telling me that there's people that have businesses for 10 years that are closing them down. They're leaving. They have to sell their homes because they have so much debt. People are remortgaging their homes, lines of credit maxed out, etc. And unfortunately, I think that's probably just kind of starting in construction, because I think you'll feel the bulk of that sometime next year. Now, not to be negative and spread fear, but this is what's happening, and that's what I do. I tell you what's happening. I'm not saying Canada's collapsing or anything dystopian like that, but that's the data, that's what's happening. The jobs market is getting visibly worse.
Is anyone else looking for a job right now in Ontario? I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I've been in between jobs before and I found jobs or gotten interviews pretty quickly. Still took, some time and lots of applying, but I've been applying to mostly everything that's out there related to my field and even outside of my field. And even in general, just getting the job notifications daily. There just isn't that many jobs out there, it seems. And the jobs that are out there are all contracts, 12-month contracts, things like that. Even then I didn't get the job, And I'd interview for some of these contract positions and it's yeah, you don't get any vacation, you don't get any benefits, and it's a 9-month contract. It's just okay. There always were contracts here and there, but it just seems very prevalent right now. Especially even with the big companies are doing it. Whereas before you'd see it, but the big companies usually be a permanent position. But yeah, I don't know. Is anyone else experiencing this? I read something the other day. I think Ontario's unemployment rate is up to 7%, which is the highest, I believe, since the pandemic, and the highest before that, it's the highest since I think 2014. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's a weird time. you know? I'm in like the creative space, so I don't know if it's just the creative space or if everyone across different fields are feeling this, but it's tough out there. Let me know what you think.
For decades, Canada sold itself as a land of opportunity, a place where hard work meant stability, where education meant a career, where immigrants could build a future. But today, opportunity feels like it's vanishing. Graduates are drowning in debt, only to find themselves stuck in unpaid internships or entry-level jobs that don't pay enough to live. Skilled workers are told they're overqualified or lack Canadian experience. Immigrants with years of expertise are sidelined, forced into survival jobs that waste their talent. And even for those who do land a job, the fear doesn't end. Layoffs are constant. Automation is rising, companies cut costs, and workers pay the price. The result? A generation that feels stuck, a workforce that feels disposable, a country that feels like it's losing its promise. Because when jobs disappear, hope disappears too. And when hope disappears, what's left? A quiet crisis. One that doesn't make headlines, but defines lives.
Could someone tell me what I'm doing wrong? I have been applying for a minimum of 10 to 25 jobs every single day for the last 3 months, and I've been doing it consistently. I haven't even received a rejection letter. It says, thank you for applying, and then no word. There's no application status, there's nothing. My last real job, they fired me because I didn't want to take advantage of small business. I have gotten calls and stuff, and it's always, oh, you're overqualified. But then other jobs, I'm underqualified. What is it? I am very proud to be Tamil, by the way, but on my resume, I don't put my last name anymore because it is very traditional, and I don't even want that affecting my, if people are not going to, even talk to me. And then on top of that, everything is expensive. I don't even want to do much with my money. I just want to be able to take care of my dog. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry on camera. Okay, so I have, a problem with being too honest, apparently. So I've been working on it by not speaking. I don't know what else to do. Do you know how embarrassing it is to move back to your family's house at the age of 26? I thank God every single day for not having a kid. A kid would obviously be a blessing, but I couldn't imagine what other people are going through with kids. The stupid thing about this is I hate crying, and I usually don't cry, but yeah, I don't know. I just want a job. I'm not saying I don't want free money. I want to work for it. I want a real job. I want a good job. It could be minimum wage. I forgot to tell you this. I was offered a job 3 months ago, and the only reason I rejected it because it was all the way in the south. It was night shift, and I would be getting paid minimum. Or sorry, not minimum. $15.50. I literally lost my studio because I didn't want to pay $1.5 every single month. I haven't really lost hope, but I don't know, you're supposed to make connections, so if there's literally anyone who knows of a job, this is one of my chances, so please just, I don't know, I have a good resume, I think. This is pathetic.
If you're a young Canadian and you're wondering why you can't find a job after applying to hundreds of places, let me tell you why. It's because of the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. The Temporary Foreign Worker Program was created by the federal government, and it allows businesses to hire foreign workers when they can't find any Canadians to fill their roles. When the Temporary Foreign Worker Program was launched back in 1973, it was meant to address short-term labor shortages, specifically seasonal work in the agricultural sector. Canadians did not want to do seasonal farm work. That's why foreign workers are brought in to address that labor shortage. But now the temporary foreign worker program is being used in the retail sector and in the fast food sector and in a bunch of other minimum wage entry-level jobs, which it was never intended for. However, businesses in Canada had found a loophole in the temporary foreign worker program and they exploited it. And they did so through the use of the LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment. An LMIA is a document that Canadian businesses need to show to the Canadian government in order to hire foreign workers. It's supposed to prove that the business tried to hire a Canadian first to fill that job, but they could not find any suitable Canadian applicants, and that is why they need to hire a foreign worker. Here's the thing though, businesses lie to the government that they need to hire foreign workers. When you go on Indeed or any other job board and you see entry-level positions for McDonald's or Walmart or Staples or Best Buy, and you see that they've been posted for weeks and weeks and weeks, it's because those employers need to get a pool of Canadian applicants first to show the government that they tried to hire a Canadian applicant, they just couldn't find one. That's the reason why you're not getting a call back, bud. But why are businesses doing this? Why do they not want to hire Canadian citizens? Because the temporary foreign worker program ties the foreign worker to their employer. Their visa, everything related to their immigration status is all tied to their employer. As a temporary foreign worker, you can't jump ship and go work for someone else either. And that means that these employers can make them work longer hours, take on more shifts, pay them less than minimum wage, and make them do things outside their normal job requirements. They can essentially exploit them, and that's why they like to hire temporary foreign workers over Canadian citizens. And it's why you see a lot of them hiring people from their ethnic background. You can see it all over the country. The Liberal government knows this is happening. They just don't give a fuck. They like the fact that there's a bigger tax base in this country with the increase in population due to immigration, and they like the fact that this is driving up housing prices, which is making all of their rich buddies that are holding properties across the country even richer. So who gets the short end of the stick? Young Canadians. Our future is literally being destroyed right in front of our eyes. Young Canadians are not getting the necessary work experience that they need at a young age, and that is going to have detrimental effects to this economy in the near future. The Liberal government has absolutely failed young Canadians. They have not protected them and they have not nurtured them to ensure that they are able to enter this workforce and contribute to the success of this country. It is absolutely fucking frustrating to hear my friends talk about how they've applied to so many jobs and they can't even get a single fucking look. This needs to change, and it needs to change right the fuck now.
So here we are. You've seen the clips. You've heard the voices. You've felt the frustration. This is Canada. Not a country at war. Not a nation in collapse. Just a place where millions of people are quietly struggling to find work. And even when they do, it's not enough. And if you're watching this thinking, this doesn't feel right, you're correct, it doesn't. Because work isn't supposed to be a gamble. It's not supposed to be a privilege. It's not supposed to be something you chase endlessly, only to be met with silence, rejection, or exploitation. Work is supposed to be stability, dignity, a way to build a life. But for too many Canadians, that promise has vanished. For decades, Canada sold itself as a land of opportunity, a place where hard work meant security, where education meant a career, where immigrants could build a future. But today, that promise feels broken. Graduates are drowning in debt, only to find themselves stuck in unpaid internships or entry-level jobs that don't pay enough to live. Skilled workers are told they're overqualified or lack Canadian experience. Immigrants with years of expertise are sidelined, forced into survival jobs that waste their talent. And even for those who do land a job, the fear doesn't end. Layoffs are constant. Automation is rising. Companies cut costs, and workers pay the price. The result is a generation that feels stuck, a workforce that feels disposable, a country that feels like it's losing its promise. 'Cause when jobs disappear, hope disappears too. And when hope disappears, what's left? A quiet crisis. One that doesn't make headlines, but defines lives. This isn't just about numbers. It's about people. It's about the graduate who sends out 200 applications and hears nothing back. It's about the parent who works 2 jobs and still can't afford rent. It's about the immigrant who gave up everything for a dream that turned into a struggle. It's about the senior who thought retirement was secure, only to be forced back into the workforce. It's about the millions who feel invisible. And that invisibility is crushing, because when you can't find work, it's not just your income that disappears, it's your dignity, your confidence, your sense of worth. It's the erosion of identity, the quiet shame of feeling disposable, the constant fear of being left behind, and it's silent. There's no headline that says, millions quietly rejected. No emergency siren for economic despair. No broadcast for the worker who cries after another rejection email. But it's happening every day, all across the country. Politicians love to talk about job creation, about economic growth, about recovery. But what kind of jobs are being created? Part-time, temporary, contract work, gig jobs, jobs that don't come with benefits, jobs that don't come with security, jobs that don't come with a future. So yes, the numbers look good, but the reality? It's hollow. Because what people need isn't just a job. They need stability. They need wages that keep up with inflation. They need careers that allow them to build a life. And right now, that's disappearing. This crisis isn't just economic. It's emotional. It's the stress of endless applications, the anxiety of interviews that lead nowhere, the burnout of juggling multiple jobs, the depression of feeling stuck. It's the guilt of not being able to provide, the shame of asking for help, the fear of falling further behind. And it's silent. People don't talk about rejection emails, about working 3 jobs, about crying in the bathroom after another failed interview. They don't talk about it because they're embarrassed, because they think it's their fault, because they've been told to try harder. But it's not their fault. It's the fault of a system that treats workers as disposable, that rewards corporations for cutting costs. That lets wages stagnate while profits soar. And the worst part? That system is invisible too. It hides behind press releases, behind economic jargon, behind political spin. It hides while people suffer. So let's stop hiding. Let's name it. Let's feel it. Let's say it out loud. This is not normal. It's not normal to send out hundreds of applications and hear nothing back. It's not normal to work full-time and still be broke. It's not normal to feel disposable in your own country. It's not normal to accept this as normal. So what do? We start by seeing it, by naming it, by feeling it. We start by validating each other, by sharing stories, by refusing to be silent. Because silence is dangerous. It lets the crisis grow. It lets the system hide. It lets people suffer alone. But when we speak, when we share, when we connect, we begin to resist. Resistance doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet, honest, human.